Hi, this is Oakville Daily Houses, and my name is Darlene Dara from Home Sale Divas Century 21 Dreams, and I'm your host. Today's Wednesday, October 14th, and I haven't videotaped for a few days. I've been extremely busy. We do have 5 new listings in the Oakville area, but 58 are new to the board. We also have quite a few that have either sold conditional or firm, so the market is still extremely healthy right now. We have 30 conditionally sold and 40 sold firm. So let's take a look. I'm actually going to show them through the new regional system that is still being tested. So the look will be a little bit different than we are traditionally seeing on our videos. So having said that, one of the things that I get asked a lot, I do sort of try to have a little bit of a narrative with some of the videos, and since we only have 5, I can sort of talk a little bit, is often after we do a deal, but it hasn't closed yet, really what then happens. So once your deal goes firm, whether you're the buyer or the seller, different things occur. And typically what happens is a buyer will have often visits that they've put into the offer to come to see the property before close. It might be to bring in contractors, it might be just to be able to get measurements, and also just to be honest, a lot of times it's they're excited and they want to see the property again, they want to show family. So depending on the number of visits that a buyer has identified, they will often use the lockbox system, which is still on a house if a lockbox has been used. They'll book the showings the same way as normal through the listing brokerage office, and it will be confirmed, and then they'll come in for their specified time. As well, the sellers are responsible for the maintenance of that home and to keep it in the same condition that the buyer bought it until the day of closing. And really, even the appliances are to work and everything else up until really the next day or so. Sometimes it's a little bit longer, but I always encourage my buyers to go in as soon as possible and check that everything is okay. Having said that, sometimes deals do have some difficulty. If you've had some repairs that have had to be done prior to close, you have to make sure that that stuff is done. And if there's any issue with it being done, quite often then, I mean, as agents, we try to mediate and make sure that everything is done. But if anything occurs after the fact, then often that's when the lawyers get involved. So it's really important to keep up with knowing what is in your offer, as well as any repairs. So that goes on the buyer and the seller side. So the buyer wants to make sure that they're getting what they paid for. The seller is responsible for the property, and they're also responsible for the terms in the offer. So as an example, if you've said you're going to include things, typically it would be central vac and the accessories, possibly the curtains and the hardware, appliances, lighting, etc. You're expected to actually keep those things in the house and not be stripping it out. As well, there's sort of a common term that we use in real estate, both by realtors and lawyers, that if you turn a house upside down and shake it, anything that falls out or off would, like furniture, they can take. If anything's bolted, then it stays, then it remains part of the property. So you're not supposed to be taking alarm systems out, or even things as simple as brackets for TVs, the new wall-mounted TVs, things like that. So you're not really supposed to be stripping unless you have put it in the offer that these are specifically excluded. So there is a lot of duty on both the seller and the buyer to make sure that the transaction is completed as according to the agreement. So I do get a lot of questions like that, so I thought I'd cover it today. Okay, so take care. I'm going to actually, in the link, we don't have a lot. I think there's about 5 or so in the Burlington as well. So I'm actually going to combine the 2 properties together today, because I do actually have an appointment with a mover for one of my sales. So take care. If you have any questions, email me, call me, or text me. Okay, bye. Okay, so we have, looks like 7 actually, hopefully they're not a repeat, new listings in the Oakville area to go over. So as I mentioned, this is the new on regional system that we're testing. So the look of our video will be a little bit different than normal. So our first listing is 3056 Drumlock Avenue. It's listed at $469,900. So let's take a look. This is the Bronte Creek area. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. You'll notice this new banner that they're sort of displaying. These are not really professional pictures from what I can see. You can tell by the coloring and also yeah, I mean, look at how dark they are. So I'm hoping that this is really temporary, even at a lower price listing. It's really important to showcase it properly. So this is very hard to actually get a feel for what that property is. 2252 Margate Street, 569.9. Okay, so this is in the River Oaks area, very popular family community. It's a 3-bedroom, 3-bath. So let's take a look. It's a townhouse, and it hasn't got bad curb appeal. The rooms are actually a good size. It is vacant. It's got hardwood flooring or laminate. It looks like a sort of an updated kitchen, or at least refaced a bit. Bathroom is actually being renovated, and carpeting upstairs. So again, for a 3-bedroom, this isn't a bad price. Bathrooms are actually not in bad shape. I've been looking for somebody really around the $450 and down price range. So I'm very familiar right now, really in Oakville, and it's really hard in this price point to find anything. You do have the basement finish, which again gives you a little bit of space, and actually not a bad piece of property as well, and it's on the trail. So this is actually not a bad price. Okay, so we'll go to the next one, 2101 Tauvel Drive. Unfortunately, there's no pictures. It's listed at $600,000. It's in the Westmont area, sort of the West Oakish kind of area, just south of Dundas. It's a 3-bedroom, 3-bath. So we'll move on. 2428 Montagne Avenue. Having a hard time speaking today. 659.9. Okay, so this is a townhouse. This is in Westmont again. It's a 4-bedroom, 4-bath. So you're going to have a little bit more living space. It is newer. They have upgraded some of the chandeliers, a little bit big for 2, although it does show very well. Darker hardwood flooring, looks pretty turnkey. Not a huge kitchen, but definitely big enough for an eat-in. And it's not fully open, but at least these entrance ways are a little bit bigger. So good size bedroom though, and the bath looks pretty updated. So it looks fairly turnkey. In comparison to some of the older properties. There's your laundry, and it looks like the lower level has some finished space as well. And there's your bedroom and fireplace. So they've actually done not a bad job of this with this property. Okay, so the next one is 177 Elmwood Road. Okay, so this one's in central Oakville. So this is 768. So let's take a look at this. It's a 4-bedroom, 4-bath. Looks like a fairly large house, and this is around the Kerr area. This is actually a pretty good price for a central Oakville for a home that looks this large. So again, not bad. The kitchen looks pretty nice. Don't think this one's going to last. It's new in the market, and with this price point and the size of rooms and the condition, there is still some room for upgrading. You've got your lower level, and you've got a kitchen, probably a side entrance. Looks like it possibly is rented out. This is actually a pretty good price. There's your side entrance as well. So a hot tub. Okay, so that one I think is going to actually probably sell fairly quickly. 11 Bronte Road, Unit 417. Okay, so these are buildings that are actually extremely popular. This is listed at $789,900. It's a 2-bedroom, 3-bath. It is around Lakeshore area, and it really is quite popular. Amenities are good. A little tight around that sort of peninsula area that we saw in the other picture, but pretty turnkey. It is vacant, so you have to be able to envision the furniture, but sometimes it's good to see that because then you really see all the blemishes. Looks like the bathroom's being redone, so this is actually quite nice. And there's your view, which is very pretty. There's your harbor. It really is about location. So there's sort of your lobby, beautiful lobby. I mean, they just really, this is a very popular complex. Has lots of amenities. There's your pool. So this is also about location and lifestyle for sure. Okay, 2173 Samway Road. This is in the west area. The price has been reduced on this one, so this isn't a new listing. It's $1,138,000. So it's actually catching. Normally I don't show the price reductions, but since it's here, why not? Okay, so I had somebody recently ask me about the Southwest, and I know I've been talking about it quite a bit as being a really new hot area. Okay, so this looks like it is an older house that's being redone. So it does show you the potential of the pricing in the neighborhood. Looks like a very nice house. It's around Rebecca. And it's becoming really the hot spot because when you go into Southeast, the prices are just so much higher that a lot of people are starting to migrate to the west. And it's really a lovely community. The the Lakeshore area, I'm thinking of Toronto, is got a lot of new shops. It's really becoming an up and coming. So you're still really at early pricing, but lots of custom homes. So they've actually done a nice job of this and good property. Again, this pocket, you get a lot of property for your money. So it's actually got a nice curb appeal on the outside. It's one of those that looks like the property is sort of around the house as well. Okay, so if you have any questions, email me, call me, or text me. I'm on the road today dealing with some suppliers, also a mover, but I'm always available to help. So take care, enjoy what looks like it's going to be sunshine, and I'll see you tomorrow. Okay.